Welcome back to B&B Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the sizzling developments in the bold and the beautiful set for October 29, 2025. Get ready for a whirlwind of emotional confessions, heartfelt proposals, and cunning prison schemes that could shatter alliances forever in this iconic soap opera world. Deacon and Taylor's forbidden spark. In the heart of Los Angeles's glittering elite, Deacon Sharp finds himself drawn deeper into the therapeutic embrace of Dr. Taylor Hayes, a session that transcends professional boundaries and ignites an unexpected flame. What begins as routine counseling over Deacon's turbulent past evolves into a profound exchange where he praises Taylor's empathy, her ability to unravel the knots of his soul like no one else ever has, perhaps drawing from her own storied history of resilience amid family upheavals. As tears glisten on Taylor's cheek, Deacon gently probes why she clings to the ghost of Ridge Forrester, urging her to envision a future unburdened by old heartaches, one where fresh possibilities bloom like the roses in the Forrester garden. This intimate dialogue doesn't stop at personal woes, it delves into the shadows cast by Sheila Carter's manipulations and the enduring love triangle involving Ridge and Brooke Logan, revealing how these figures continue to haunt Taylor's every decision, much like echoes in a grand mansion's halls. Imagine Deacon, with his rough-edged charm honed from years of redemption arcs, sharing a vulnerable story from his rockstar days, contrasting it with Taylor's poised elegance shaped by psychiatric expertise and maternal instincts, creating a magnetic pull that defies their worlds. Yet, this budding connection simmers in secrecy, a clandestine bond that Taylor guards fiercely, especially as her daughter Steffi Forrester Finnegan returns from her latest adventure, peppering her with questions about potential suitors and romantic entanglements. Steffi's sharp intuition, inherited from the Forrester legacy, might sense the shift in her mother's demeanor, the subtle glow, the evasive smiles, but Taylor's silence holds, a testament to her protective nature forged through decades of family scandals. Adding layers to this intrigue, envision Taylor confiding in a private journal about Deacon's unexpected kindness, a man who once embodied chaos but now offers stability, analyzing how his insights mirror her own suppressed desires for a partner who sees beyond the Forrester name. However, the real danger lurks in Sheila Sharp's watchful eyes. If she uncovers this liaison, her vengeful streak could unleash a torrent of blackmail and psychological warfare, turning Taylor's sanctuary into a battlefield and forcing Deacon to confront his loyalties once more. Picture Sheila eavesdropping on a hushed phone call, her lips curling into a sinister grin as she plots to exploit this vulnerability, perhaps by fabricating evidence to drive a wedge between Taylor and her daughters, escalating the drama to operatic heights. This potential romance isn't just a fleeting spark, it's a seismic shift that could redefine power dynamics in the Forrester circle, with Deacon emerging as an unlikely hero or a catalyst for chaos, depending on how Taylor navigates the emotional minefield ahead. Liam's daring proposal to Hope. Shifting gears to the romantic undercurrents of the Spencer and Logan clans, Liam Spencer channels his inner resolve, inspired by a chorus of familial wisdom, to pop the question that could mend or mendaciously complicate his bond with Hope Logan. Fresh from heartfelt pep talks with his father Bill Spencer, whose business-savvy advice underscores the value of bold risks in love, and sister Katie Logan, who draws from her own whirlwind romances to emphasize forgiveness's power, Liam steels himself for the moment. Even young Will Spencer chimes in with youthful optimism, reminding Liam of the joys of family unity amid their shared beachside gatherings, evoking memories of picnics where laughter drowned out past betrayals. Clutching a sparkling engagement ring, perhaps a custom piece echoing Hope's elegant style, with a diamond cut to symbolize eternal renewal, Liam drops to one knee in a sun-drenched Forrester Creations office, pleading for Hope to rebuild their fractured family, complete with Beth and Douglas in tow. Hope, ever the beacon of compassion in her designs and demeanor, feels the warmth of Liam's sincerity, her heart fluttering with echoes of their wedding vows exchanged under starry skies years ago. Yet, beneath her loving gaze lies a reservoir of caution. After enduring Liam's dalliances and the Steffi entanglements that tore at her trust, she ponders if this proposal is a genuine evolution or merely a passionate impulse. Envision Hope pausing, her fingers tracing the ring's facets as she recalls intimate nights where Liam's promises rang true, only to falter later, weighing whether his recent personal growth, through therapy sessions mirroring Taylor's methods, promises lasting change. This hesitation isn't born of indifference but wisdom. Hope might suggest a trial period, perhaps a weekend getaway to Catalina Island, to test the waters of reconciliation, analyzing how their co-parenting successes could evolve into marital harmony. Bill's encouragement, rooted in his own redemption with Katie, adds depth, as he shares anecdotes of second chances that fortified the Spencer empire, urging Liam to prove his commitment through actions like supporting Hope's Logan fashion endeavors. Katie, with her journalistic eye, dissects the risks, warning that rushed unions often unravel like poorly sewn seams, yet she sees in Liam's eyes the determination that once captivated Brooke. Will's innocent perspective lightens the mood, imagining family holidays with Hope's infectious smile lighting up the room, a vision that tugs at Liam's resolve. If Hope accepts, it could herald a new era of Logan Spencer alliances, but rejection might propel her toward unforeseen paths, perhaps reigniting sparks with Thomas Forrester, forever altering the soap's romantic tapestry. This proposal stands as a pivotal crossroads, blending vulnerability with high-stakes emotion, where love's fragility meets the allure of forever. Luna's desperate prison gambit. Deep within the stark confines of a California correctional facility, Luna Nozawa orchestrates her latest bid for freedom, leveraging manipulation and maternal instincts in a plot twist that threatens to upend the Forrester-Nozawa dynamics. Having already staged a brutal altercation with her cellmate, envision a tense midnight scuffle over a shared blanket, leaving Luna with visible bruises that scream vulnerability. She manipulates the prison physician into summoning Will Spencer to her bedside. Will, torn by lingering concern for Luna's unborn child, a secret that binds him to her fate like an invisible chain, arrives with a mix of reluctance and empathy, his youthful face etched with the weight of family secrets. Though he departs abruptly, his parting words carry a hint of unresolved worry, planting seeds for Luna's next scheme, perhaps a forged medical report detailing pregnancy complications that demand immediate release. Luna's cunning isn't new. Drawing from her mother's legacy of survival tactics, she analyzes Will's soft spot, their shared illicit encounter under moonlit skies, crafting pleas that evoke his protective instincts, much like Bill Spencer's past interventions. Invent a new layer, Luna whispers to a sympathetic guard about anonymous threats in the yard, fabricating ties to Poppy's old rivals, aiming to pressure authorities for protective custody outside bars. If Will succumbs and advocates for her parole, mirroring Bill's influential polls months prior, it could spell disaster. Electra Forrester, sensing the betrayal, might sever ties with Will permanently, viewing it as a reckless echo of Forrester family indiscretions. Picture the fallout, a heated confrontation at the Forrester mansion, where Electra, with her fiery spirit, demands explanations, forcing Will to choose between compassion and loyalty, potentially fracturing the younger generation's bonds. Luna's moves extend beyond escape. She might reach out covertly to Finn, her half-brother, via smuggled notes pleading for medical intervention, analyzing how her release could expose deeper Nozawa secrets buried in Lee's archives. This prison arc amplifies Luna's character arc from naive ingenue to strategic survivor, with risks that could boomerang, drawing Sheila's opportunistic gaze and weaving her into the escape plot for explosive alliances. As tensions mount, viewers will watch breathlessly to see if Luna's gambit succeeds or backfires, reshaping alliances in ways that ripple through the entire Bold and the Beautiful universe. Next, we will learn about the shocking twists in Carter Walton's heart as he navigates a fresh romance with the enigmatic Daphne Rose, only for a ghost from her hidden Paris history to crash into Los Angeles and threaten to shatter it all. Carter Walton, the steadfast lawyer who's weathered more emotional storms than most, is finally stepping into a new chapter with Daphne Rose, the elegant Parisian perfumer whose allure has captivated him just as Hope Logan's joyful engagement to Liam Spencer delivers a devastating blow. This union between Hope and Liam, celebrated with champagne toasts at the Forrester mansion, symbolizes a return to their enduring bond, complete with shared memories of raising their daughter Beth and overcoming countless betrayals. Yet for Carter, the news echoes like a thunderclap, reopening wounds from his unrequited devotion to Hope, who once whispered promises of forever amid the chaos of corporate intrigue. As confetti falls in the background of their announcement party, Carter stands alone in the shadows, grappling with the sting of rejection that feels all too familiar in the glittering world of the Bold and the Beautiful. After years of relentless heartbreak, Carter Walton has earned every ounce of the joy that now flickers in his eyes when he looks at Daphne. Picture this dedicated man, who has poured his soul into relationships that crumbled like sandcastles under the tide, failed proposals, shattered trusts, and alliances that turned toxic overnight. His heart, once guarded by layers of professional poise at Forrester Creations, now yearns for genuine connection, and Daphne, with her refined grace and subtle French accent, seems to offer that rare spark. She's not just a fleeting distraction, she's the quiet force who arrived in Los Angeles like a breath of fresh jasmine from the Champs-Élysées, reminding him that vulnerability can lead to something profound. In the dimly lit corners of the rooftop bar where they first connected, Carter shares a vulnerable laugh, his broad shoulders relaxing for the first time in months, hinting at the healing that's just beginning. Hope Logan's engagement to Liam Spencer, announced with a sparkling ring under the stars at a lavish beachside event, should herald harmony for the Logan and Spencer families, reuniting two souls intertwined by fate and family ties. They share not only a child but a tapestry of triumphs and trials, from custody battles to miraculous returns from presumed deaths, proving their love's resilience in the face of Ridge Forrester's endless meddling. But this milestone hits Carter like a freight train derailing his carefully rebuilt world. He watches from afar as hope beams in Liam's arms, her gown flowing like silk in the ocean breeze, while memories flood back of their intimate late-night strategy sessions plotting against the Forresters. The pain isn't just loss, it's the cruel realization that loyalty to her vision cost him everything, leaving him to question if his sacrifices were ever truly valued in her heart. In a pivotal moment that shifts the sands of their connection, Carter and Daphne share a raw, unfiltered exchange over glasses of aged Bordeaux at a secluded Italian bistro in Beverly Hills, dissecting the raw edges of Hope's engagement and what it means for their own undefined bond. Spoilers for the week of October 27 reveal this dialogue as a turning point, where guarded words give way to confessions that ignite unspoken desires. Carter admits the hollow ache in his chest, while Daphne's empathetic gaze, framed by her signature pearl earrings, draws out truths he's long buried. This isn't mere consolation, it's the birth of possibility, where her hand lingers a second too long on his, sparking electricity that neither can deny. As the city lights twinkle below, their conversation weaves through dreams of stability and fears of repetition, forging a tentative bridge from companionship to something deeper. Daphne Rose has emerged as Carter's unwavering anchor amid the turbulent seas of his recent betrayals, offering solace that few others could match in the high-stakes drama of Los Angeles elite circles. When the fallout from his ill-fated corporate coup against the Forresters left him isolated and vilified, Daphne was there in the quiet hours, her perfumery studio filled with the soothing scents of lavender and sandalwood serving as a sanctuary. She listened intently as he unraveled the threads of his alliance with Hope, which spiraled into accusations of disloyalty and boardroom exiles, never interrupting with pity but instead posing questions that prompted self-reflection. Her advice, delivered with the poise of someone who's navigated her own labyrinth of ambitions, encouraged him to reclaim his narrative without the weight of judgment. And in lighter moments, she'd recount whimsical tales from her Paris ateliers, where scents are crafted like symphonies, coaxing smiles from him when despair threatened to consume everything. The evolution from an unlikely friendship to potential enduring love raises intriguing questions about the fragility of bonds forged in deception and desperation within the Forrester universe. What started as chance encounters at galas and meetings has blossomed into shared sunsets along Malibu shores, where Daphne's artistic soul mirrors Carter's quest for authenticity. Yet, in soap opera tradition, such transformations are rarely straightforward. Consider how their late-night walks, hand in hand under palm trees swaying in the breeze, mask underlying tensions ready to erupt. Can trust, built on the ruins of manipulation, withstand the scrutiny of family loyalties and public scandals? As they confide in each other about aspirations beyond the glamour, Carter's dream of mentoring young lawyers, Daphne's vision for a global fragrance empire, their chemistry suggests yes, but the shadows of doubt loom large, promising a narrative arc rich with emotional depth and unforeseen trials. Daphne's entry into Carter's life was no serendipitous encounter but a calculated maneuver orchestrated by Steffi Forrester, the fierce executive determined to dismantle the threat posed by Carter's partnership with Hope Logan. Steffi, ever the strategist in her sleek office overlooking the city, recruited Daphne from Paris with a lucrative contract: infiltrate Carter's world, deploy her seductive charms honed in high-fashion circles, and sow discord to protect the Forrester legacy. Daphne arrived like a whirlwind, her wardrobe of tailored blazers and flowing scarves turning heads at every event, her mission veiled behind discussions of potential collaborations between her perfume line and the fashion house. The plot thickened as she attended exclusive luncheons, her subtle flirtations chipping away at Carter's resolve, all while Steffi monitored from afar with a mix of triumph and trepidation. This scheme, born from corporate warfare, echoes the show's history of espionage and intrigue, where personal lives become pawns in power plays. Despite the engineered origins, genuine emotions have undeniably taken root between Carter and Daphne, transforming a scripted seduction into a tapestry of authentic passion that lights up their scenes with palpable intensity. On screen, their stolen glances during tense board meetings or tender embraces in hidden gardens radiate a warmth that defies fabrication. Think of the way Daphne's fingers trace patterns on his palm, evoking vulnerability he's rarely shown. She insists the charade melted away during quiet dinners where vulnerability surfaced, like her confessions of loneliness in competitive Paris salons. Carter, in turn, finds in her a mirror to his own guarded heart, their laughter echoing as they dance to jazz in dimly lit clubs. This shift promises heartfelt monologues and stolen kisses, but it also invites scrutiny, in a world where motives are questioned, can viewers, and Carter, fully embrace this redemption arc without reservations? The bedrock of Carter and Daphne's burgeoning affair remains precarious, vulnerable to the seismic shifts triggered by Hope's commitment to Liam, which compels them to confront and label their evolving dynamic. As whispers of their closeness circulate through the Forrester grapevine, fueled by Ridge's suspicious glares and Brooke's knowing smiles, the pressure mounts for clarity. Imagine the tension in an upcoming scene where Carter proposes they make it official over a candlelit meal, only for Daphne's hesitation to reveal cracks in their foundation, perhaps a flicker of guilt from her initial deceit or fears of entanglement in the Logan's endless drama. This test, amplified by the show's penchant for dramatic confrontations, could either solidify their union through trials or expose fractures that send them tumbling back to square one, leaving fans on the edge of their seats for resolutions that blend forgiveness with fiery revelations. Carter Walton, with his noble intentions and unyielding optimism, carries a troubling legacy of romantic missteps that pattern his life like a recurring motif in the Bold and the Beautiful saga, often blinding him to evident dangers until catastrophe strikes. Take Maya Avant, the trailblazing model whose affections were still entangled with Rick Forrester's when Carter proposed, leading to a whirlwind engagement that imploded amid jealousy-fueled exposés at fashion shows. Then Zoe Buckingham, whose pre-wedding dalliance with Zen Dominguez unfolded in scandalous secrecy, betraying Carter just as vows were exchanged in a lavish chapel ceremony. Quinn Fuller exploited his kindness ruthlessly, using their affair as leverage against Eric Forrester before fleeing back to her tumultuous marriage, leaving Carter to pick up the pieces in solitary agony. Paris Buckingham abandoned him at the altar for a fleeting passion with Quinn, the ceremony's floral arches wilting like his dreams under the weight of her impulsivity. Katie Logan kept him in the friend zone despite his chivalrous support during her media empire battles, while Hope herself severed ties the instant his allegiance to the Forresters clashed with their ambitious merger plot. Each chapter illustrates a man who dives headfirst into love, ignoring sirens of emotional unavailability or ulterior motives, from hidden agendas to unresolved loyalties that poison the well. Enter Daphne Rose, a captivating enigma whose pristine facade hides a void of untold history, making her both a beacon of hope and a potential minefield for Carter's tender heart. While her affection appears sincere, evident in the way she surprises him with custom-blended colognes inspired by his favorite memories, the absence of transparency raises alarms in this era of revelations and reckonings. She speaks fondly of Parisian cafes and scent workshops, yet details evade her, like the family ties she glosses over or the career milestones that remain vague shadows. This opacity, deliberate or not, contrasts sharply with Carter's openness, positioning their romance as a high-wire act where one false step could unravel everything. Fans speculate endlessly in online forums about her true intentions, blending admiration for her poise with wariness born from the show's history of double-crosses, urging Carter to tread carefully lest history repeat its cruel refrain. At the heart of the impending drama lies Daphne's concealed history, a Pandora's box of untold tales from her Parisian roots that promises to upend her fragile ties with Carter before they can fully bloom. Spoilers hint at a figure from her past materializing in Los Angeles, arriving via a first-class flight from Charles de Gaulle with a dossier of buried truths clutched tightly. This intruder isn't a casual acquaintance but a harbinger of chaos, poised to expose layers of Daphne's life that could redefine her character in explosive fashion. Envision the airport reunion scene, charged with unspoken accusations under the harsh fluorescent lights, as old wounds reopen and new alliances fracture. In the Bold and the Beautiful's tradition of international intrigue, this development amplifies the stakes, intertwining personal vendettas with the Forrester family's sprawling web of secrets. Delving into Daphne's elusive background reveals more questions than answers, a deliberate narrative void that screams foreshadowing in soap opera scripting. We know her as a master perfumer, crafting elixirs that evoke forgotten romances in opulent boutiques along the Seine, her ambition driving her to LA for expansion. Yet her pre-2025 existence is a cipher, no siblings mentioned in holiday toasts, no ex-partners surfacing in nostalgic anecdotes, no mentors crediting her rise from apprentice to sensation. This blank canvas invites dark possibilities, perhaps a rival perfumer she double-crossed in a cutthroat merger, or a forgotten protégé seeking revenge for stolen formulas. In episodes ahead, flashbacks might unveil her navigating smoky underground clubs where deals were struck in whispers, hinting at a life of calculated risks that clash with the innocence she projects now. Such omissions aren't oversights, they're tinder for the blaze of drama, ensuring Daphne's arc evolves from seductress to survivor in ways that challenge our perceptions. Speculation runs rampant on who this shadowy visitor might be, each theory more tantalizing and treacherous for Carter's budding bliss than the last, painting a mosaic of potential disasters rooted in Daphne's obscured world. An ex-lover, perhaps a charismatic artist named Lucien who she jilted amid a torrid affair in Montmartre's bohemian haunts, could storm in demanding reconciliation, his passionate pleas clashing with Carter's steady resolve during a tense confrontation at Daphne's loft. Or envision an estranged spouse, Victor Beaumont, a wealthy investor whose sham marriage masked her escape from a stifling arranged union, now wielding divorce papers laced with financial claims that entangle her perfume empire and threaten Forrester ties. Worse still, it could be a betrayed business associate, like Elena Voss, a former collaborator ousted in a formula theft scandal, arriving with evidence that paints Daphne as a corporate saboteur, echoing the very manipulations that birthed her romance with Carter. These scenarios, woven with the show's flair for multicultural clashes and legal battles, promise courtroom showdowns and midnight confessions, forcing Daphne to choose between her past deceptions and a future with the man who's finally seen beyond her mask. As this mysterious arrival looms, Carter's quest for happiness hangs in precarious balance, a testament to the bold and the beautiful's mastery in blending romance with relentless revelation. Daphne's secrets, once whispers in the wind, now thunder toward exposure, testing whether their connection can weather the storm or dissolve like a fragile scent in the rain. Viewers, brace for twists that redefine loyalty and love in the glittering chaos of LA, where no past stays buried for long.